Imagine this. You go to work one morning. You're tired, you're underpaid, and you're angry. You've been living in a shack for years and your kids barely see you. And the price of food just has gone up one more time. It just keeps going up. So you and your co-workers, you do the one thing that you can. You strike. You demand a living wage. And then 1 week later, the police open fire. 34 workers. These are your friends, your neighbors. They're all shot dead. Wait. What happened? It was August 2012 at the Lonmin platinum mine in Marikana near Rustenburg. Thousands of mine workers, mostly rock drill operators, went on strike, demanding their wages be raised from a measly 4,000 rand to 12,000 rand 500 per month. A demand that was not born out of greed, but rather from survival. Their conditions were brutal. The miners worked deep underground in extreme heat for long hours, often without proper safety gear. Meanwhile, the platinum they mined made billions for shareholders and executives. At first, the strike was unprotected, meaning it wasn't sanctioned by the main union, NUM, which created tension between unions and workers. Then came the police. By the 16th of August 2012, the standoff had grown intense. The miners carried machetes, sticks, and pangas, symbols of protest and protection, while police set up with armored vehicles, barbed wire, and live ammunition. When the police opened fire, it wasn't warning shots, it was a massacre. In just a few minutes, 34 miners were killed and 78 were injured. The images shocked the world. Workers lying face down, bullets flying, clouds of dust and screams. The government called it a tragedy, but South Africans saw something else, a betrayal, because this was supposed to be a democratic South Africa. Really 2 decades after apartheid, and yet here we were, watching police killing black workers on live TV for demanding a living wage. A commission of inquiry, the Farlam Commission, was set up to investigate. It found failures by Lonmin, the police, and the unions, but no single person was ever criminally convicted for the killings. The commission concluded that the police's plan was defective and that their use of live ammunition was unjustified. Meanwhile, families of the victims waited and are still waiting for justice and proper compensation. Many widows still live in poverty today, so many years later. And Lonmin? It eventually merged with Sibanye Stillwater, a new corporate name, new chapter, but the story of Marikana still hangs over South Africa like a shadow. Marikana wasn't just about one day of violence, it was a mirror. It forced the country to look at the deep cracks between workers and corporations, the poor and the powerful, the promises of freedom and the realities of inequality. It also changed how many South Africans saw the ruling party and the state. For many, it became a symbol of how the system had failed its people, that even in a democracy, you could still die for demanding dignity. They called it a tragedy, but for the families of Marikana, it was a betrayal. And that betrayal was written in bullets and blood. And it leaves us with one question. If a country's wealth is built on the suffering of its workers, can it ever truly call itself free?